Welcome back to Chamber Change, the TV show. I want to thank our sponsors who helped make it happen. Bank Hometown and the Worcester Railers Hockey Club. A number of home games coming up for the Worcester Railers at the DCU Center. If you want to see some great hockey and a family-friendly atmosphere, get down to the DCU Center and root for the Railers. Thrilled that we're going to have with us for our next two segments Hamid Mohaghegh and his daughter Neelu Mohaghegh for with us. And Hamid, we go back a ways, and you are, I think, a great Worcester story. A serial entrepreneur, somebody who came up through the ranks through a number of Worcester educational institutions, an active member of the Chamber, a recent member now of the Chamber Board. Maybe you could just talk a little bit about your background and educational experience and how you became a major property owner, owning pharmacies, medical supply company. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Just about 1 year shy of half a century of living in Worcester, the beloved city of mine, and that my three children were born, and it's been home to a lot of my family members and my brothers and everyone. I came from Iran basically 49 years ago at the age of 18, and very quickly I was recruited as a factory worker to make ends meet to go to college, and started a reed and prints manufacturing and
reed and prints. That's a well-known
Johnson
manufacturer,
Steel,
Johnson
Parker
Steel
Manufacturing, a number of them I worked in, and so basically it was great. It really I learned a lot, and the American style of living. And it was fabulous, and became an American in, I believe it was 76 or 77 that I became a U.S. citizen, a proud U.S. citizen. And since then, I just went on to educate myself. I became a pharmacist and did a master's in science, and then I did a
Are you working in manufacturing, putting yourself through school?
Right.
And a pharmacist, yeah.
Right, and then became a pharmacist, and then I got my master's in health administration. It was a joint program between Clark and UMass Medical School, and became a hospital administrator for a number of years, working as the VP at the Harrington Hospital for 9 years. And then following that, I went into entrepreneurship. Started working I went to Dubai, and I became an administrator there, and I found that Dubai a haven for business. And I started doing exporting into Dubai and all of that. Did really well. Within 3 years' time, I sort of made a decision to come back because my son Jason was ready to go to university, and I wanted to be with him. Came back home, and I became the CEO of Haywood Hospital and ran the
Haywood up in Gardner.
Yes, and then ran the hospital operations there. And then I missed the free enterprise again. I went back and I created a chain of pharmacy of 13 pharmacies, 12 retails, and then one long-term care. Since then, it's been a span of
family pharmacy.
Yes, a span of about 20 years, since 1999. And then, so I've sold the retail pharmacies at this point, and basically because I'm so busy with the properties, commercial real estate. It was just a coincidence that I had my corporate office at the Northworks buildings, and I fell in love with those buildings. It resonated really well.
And just for our viewers, the Northworks buildings, for many years, people knew it. If you go back in Worcester history, this was a major manufacturing center. This part of Worcester, the American Steel and Wire, Northworks, and then. They closed down plants, consolidation, and Northworks restaurant for a whole generation of people, and you've been able to acquire a good bit of the buildings
and 13 acres.
13 acres, yeah.
And Northworks really resonated well with me because it reminded me of my early days as a young fellow at Reed and Prince Manufacturing. It's just a tremendous. It was founded in 1831. There are all kinds of pictures. Neelu just went through archives and found amazing pictures of the place, which we have enlarged them and then put them in frames, and we're going to put them all over the building. So I just, like a kid in a candy shop, I went crazy and I started renovating the building. since 2012, for the past 10 years non-stop, we've been, as you know, we've been basically renovating and remodeling and all that.
And just for our viewers, you know, prior to you buying and acquiring the building from Julius Pally,
correct.
You know, manufacturing was not taking place, but there are dozens of businesses located in this old mill, formerly old mill complex. So it's still a hive of activity and entrepreneurship.
I believe we have about 81 companies that lease from us, and so it's I've lost count, but quite a few. Our 85 Prescott building houses many of the doctors group and WPI's robotic engineering and all of that, but Hunter Grove has quite a few diverse type of businesses in it. We are now working on the 90 building, and we're waiting for our, we're working with the state and federal government in terms of some of the tax credit, because these are all historical buildings, and we're going to revamp them, and we're putting luxury apartments in those in that building, and it's going to be completely revamped.
And that's, you know, I think, you know, for anyone who's driven by growth, Jim, and you've been really methodical and purposeful about doing this historic renovation in a way that, you know, the architectural features of the building, the arches, the doorways, the windows, you've really, and a Chamber Silver Hammer Award recipient for that level of work and detail to kind of restore that. People want to see and be in and work in and visit authentic places, and you certainly have created that.
Right. My vision, Tim, was basically as a tribute to my city, for my 3 wonderful children that I've raised, and it has been to me and my family as our new city and our new country. I wanted to do something, leave a legacy behind, and to me, since I started there with the factories and that environment, really took me by surprise, and I said, you know what, I want to create a destination area for the city, and we have since created the Grove Village, which is like a European village, because there's a lot. The gentleman that came in, Ichabod Washburn and Moen, and those original people that started the factory there and all of that, they were from Europe, and the Swedish village basically is where all the Swedes that the Moen fellow brought from Sweden and then built all those 3-deckers for them and housed them over there.
And the Northworks in Greendale,
exactly.
And then in Quincy Village, the Southworks,
exactly.
And the Heights, a lot of
There's
Swede
so much to be
tradition.
proud of at our city. There's so much history in Worcester and all of that.
And so we got a minute or two left in this segment. So you have, like I said, methodically gone through, you know, the buildings. Right. Where Julius Pally had his building, you have, you know, completely redone that over from an historic point of view, inside, outside, and looking at a reuse for that.
Correct. We have really affordable space. It's a very charming space because we have kept it in the original form, which we have, I still have plans that we are redoing all of the corridors and all of that. The shell has been completely redone. We had it all repointed and
sandblasted, repointed, the wood beams. I mean, it's really a special place.
It's become really a very, very nice place. And we did the lobby, the beautiful lobby and all of that. Now we are going to renovate all of the floor by floor, and it's going to be restored. That's the last building.
Yeah. Well, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Neelu's influence on this process and what she's adding in terms of creating that village, already becoming a destination place for 81 plus businesses and now some retail.
If I may just, the coffee shop that
we're going to talk about that in our next segment. Hold on.
But that's the cornerstone for our marketplace. I just wanted to let you know.
We're going to talk about that in the next segment. Absolutely. Come back, more to come.
These days, you've got your hands full in life. That's why we help you bank simply and securely with tools like Face ID and Touch ID. It's why we make it easy to make purchases on the go and get cash back while you're at it. Why we help you quickly deposit checks wherever you are. And it's why we lend a hand with sending and receiving money right from your phone. So even when you're on the move, you can manage your finances. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.
Being associated with the Railers and being a part has been awesome, and it's been a lot of fun.
I think my students' initial reactions is my favorite part. Their eyes get really wide and they're in awe.
And then you have the excitement of hockey, and you have that anticipation in the air, you know, the crowd getting into it. It's fun.